Holding ETH has never felt riskier, and ETH holders just got another major blow today. In this video, we're going to cover the news that has all the ETH whales panic selling and then give a price prediction. And before we jump into the news, it is not me saying that the whales are panic selling. It is the chain. Looks on chain, the whales are selling ETH. This guy deposited 15 million to Kraken just an hour ago, and this other person deposited 13 million just in the past hour. And the breaking news is the SEC denied Grayscale's application to allow ETH staking. Now, I've said one of the harsh realities about Ethereum is Wall Street isn't going to start buying massive amounts of ETH like we want them to until they allow staking on the ETH ETFs. Now, Grayscale originally filed February 14th, so about 2 months ago now, and on April 17th, it was due. The SEC had to make a decision, but the SEC is going to extend their review for another 90 days. They have exercised that option, and then that's going to give them until July 2025 to decide to allow ETH staking or not. Now, I've long said ETH staking is going to be similar to Wall Street viewing a dividend on a stock. It's a way to hold an asset while getting paid in the background. Looking at some popular stocks here, Walmart, they pay about a 1% dividend yield. So if you have $100 worth of Walmart stock, they'll pay you $1 every single year. And I also checked out Microsoft. They're a little under 1%. They come in at 0.85. But if you go to ETH and just look at the #1 staking protocol, Lido staked ETH, Lido's paying 3.6%. And so Wall Street, they want that 2 or 3% staking yield on top of holding this asset. Once this is allowed, I expect Wall Street to flood into Ethereum. But let's talk about price action, because it's not all bad when it comes to Ethereum. There's a lot of macro factors that make me very, very bullish. #1 is going to be the M2 money supply. Now, typically the way Bitcoin behaves with the M2 money supply, when M2 money supply pumps, Bitcoin will follow. It just takes about 100 days. This chart has it lagging by 108 days. So M2 money supply started to fall. Bitcoin's price fell about 108 days later. When M2 money supply went up, Bitcoin followed about 108 days later. And you can see right now, we're in the period where we might go sideways for a little bit longer, but shortly after. And then you can see the point where M2 takes off like a rocket, and Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other alts should follow fairly soon. Now, you see a similar situation when you look at inverted DXY price in Ethereum. DXY is the strength of a dollar against a basket of currencies. And so flipping it upside down. So when the dollar weakens, it goes to the upside. You can see ETH follows pretty well. This is a 3-month difference here. So now we're looking at about 90-day lag. And so when money pours into an ecosystem where the dollar falls, it takes a while for the money markets to gestate this news, digest it, and then the asset prices will change a few months later. Right now, you can see the DXY has been falling. This is the strength of the dollar falling. Typically, you're going to see Ethereum follow. I don't expect this time to be different. Other insanely macro bullish news for Ethereum is Donald Trump's crypto holdings are largely based on Ethereum blockchain. 94% of the World Liberty Fi's assets are in ETH. ETH still extremely undervalued. And next up is going to be the Binance Ethereum liquidation heat map. So this is looking the ETH liquidation. So the brighter the color, the more liquidations occurs at this price. When you look at Ethereum, all of the liquidations are to the upside. There's not many liquidations to the downside here. And so this typically will act as a magnet pulling up Ethereum's price. Here you can see the liquidation start about 1833. I want to give a quick shout out to LBank exchange. It is my favorite exchange to get all of the latest trading pairs, all of the hottest meme coins and altcoins. You can go to the spot trading, or you could do futures perpetual trading. And we have a link down below with the tutorial on the top of our page. Tons and tons of features here, 24/7 customer support, huge reach here, huge volume, millions of users, and they have over 200 countries and regions covered. So go ahead, open up an account, deposit some funds, and start your trading journey. So now let's do our price prediction. So this is Ethereum, and I want to point out a very important trend line. This is a multi-year, multi-cycle trend line. It feels multi-generational at this point, and this started all the way back in February 2020. This was Ethereum's first resistance. It blasted off past the resistance and then acted as support, acted as support, acted as support, and we fell through as support. And right now, if we zoom into especially the 4-hour or the daily, you can see that it's acting as resistance yet again. But now let's do that price analysis. Let's do a little price prediction here. So right now, ETH, broke free of that resistance there. There's resistance going all the way back to March. And so, it took a little bit of time, but now ETH is past that. But I saw something in the Fibonacci that I wanted to share that kind of matches what we've seen with the liquidation heat map. And so we go from the swing high to the swing low. You're going to notice a lot of action around the 618. You can see, kind of bounced along, acted as resistance, failed to burst through the 618, and then fell all the way down to below $1,400. Hate to even say it. Now, right now, ETH is currently battling the 382. If it gets past the 382, I do think it can get past the 0.5 pretty decisively. You can see how easily it cut through it like warm butter, and I would expect the slowdown to occur at the 618. But if you notice on the right side, look at the dollar amount right there, 1831. And if you go back to the liquidation heat map, that started right around the same range, low 1830s, high 1830s. So we're seeing a little confluence here with the liquidation heat map and the Fibonacci extension tool. So I would expect a lot of activity in that 1830 to 1840 range. If you're looking, that's roughly going to be about a 10-12% pump from here. And so that's going to be the level for Ethereum that I'm watching in the short term. And so now I'll end with two very bullish charts for you. The first one's going to be ETH dominance. The Fed is ready to stabilize markets. Meanwhile, ETH dominance just bounced from macro support. The whales are watching. You should be too. This is ETH dominance coming to support, and last time it bounced is when quantitative tightening ended. And according to Polymarket, there's a 100% chance quantitative tightening will end before May. And the last thing I'll show you here is going to be the others crypto market cap. We are also about to gear up for a huge explosion into our third alt season here. Most of you are not ready for what's about to happen. Position now or cry later. This is others price in BTC, and these are going to be largely judging the altcoin market. These are coins outside the top 10, and so Ethereum and the others chart kind of go hand in hand. First alt season, you can see it took off like a rocket, and we're positioned right here, right now, and now's not the time to sell your ETH. I'm diamond handing my ETH, in fact, and hopefully you don't get shaken out of the market. So I'm DZ4, Discover Crypto, and hopefully I'll see you and your ETH bags at the top.